It is.
Of Prelude Electrical Infidelities. All 6 of these videos have been caused by my wiring. And now we can't figure out why. So, we're going to rip it all out and start over.
Yeah, there's not much left to do, honestly.
There is nothing left to do but rip it out and for me to be sad for a little bit, but then to be happy because the car works. So what's happened is, after the last episode, we got the windows wired in, and they worked great. Ish. They worked. Okay.
The one thing that works good.
They worked. But then the wiring inside the box, the switch box, was just a mess. And so I said, I know. I'll take it all apart again and then clean it up. And so I cleaned up the switch box and I moved the relay box and everything into the engine bay, which is where it is now. So if we go over here, it's all torn apart because I was trying to trace things out, but you can see it lived up here. And then I even took the fender off and routed all the wires through and made it all kind of nice.
Yeah, you're nice enough to use all the same color.
That's part of the problem. Before, they were all separate colors and it was easy to trace, and now they're all the same color, not easy to trace.
Self-destruct button.
Well, I was working up to that. So 3 things happened that led me to the conclusion that we need to rip it all out. Number 1, when we tried to start it, it wouldn't start. We spent a bunch of time trying to figure out why we were popping fuses left and right. Turns out, when you hit that start button and have everything jumpered, because you're trying to just figure out what's wrong, it starts drawing 35 amps through, in some cases, 20 gauge wire.
It looks like a light bulb filament now.
So then I started tracing things out, and that's when I realized thing number 2, there was a pin that goes into one of the relays and heads into the box. It wasn't connected on the other end. There was nothing there. There wasn't even a pin in the plug on the other side. And then thing number 3 was that when I tried to ohm out the grounds, 3/4 of the pins were grounded. And I thought to myself, well, that's weird. Why would that be? And it turns out that I had wired at least one of the signal wires for one of the relays directly to ground. And so we were basically opening just all hell every time you turned those switches on.
It's a can of worms.
It is an absolute can of worms. There are at least 3 things that are wrong, and it would take a long time to figure out what they are. So instead of doing that, we're going to rip it all out, and then...
Yeah, are we going to sketch wire it for today?
We're going to hot wire it for today, so that it'll actually work.
Yeah. And then what are we going to do next time, Steven? We're going to write down what we've done so we can figure it out later.
And then maybe use more than one color wire.
And a wiring diagram and all the basics like electrical 101.
Oh, what's the other really cool thing that we're going to do?
The next time we do this, we're going to rip every wire out of this car and start over, because that's what I wanted to do in the first place. This was sort of like building up to that. I was trying to do it like piece by piece by piece. It's a bad idea, because
you got to rip the Band-Aid off.
We're going to put a Speeduino in it. We're going to make our own harness. Soup to nuts, everything's going to be made by us. And before we lay a single wire, I'm going to trace everything out. We're going to have a whole wiring diagram with locations, wire colors. I'm going to order all the different wire colors we need to do it so that everything is easy to trace. All the relays are going to be labeled, everything labeled, so it's nice and easy to do.
Be great.
And then where's it all going to go?
What we're currently thinking about doing is putting a panel right here with all of the relays and fuses. So basically you have power off your battery, up into everything, then one harness that heads to the front of the car. That's the other thing, is we're trying to trace where the factory starter relay is, and we can't find it. There's groups of relays all over the car. Apparently none of them are the starter relay. We can't figure out where it is. So rip it out, start over. But for today, we're just going to hotwire it so we can drive it.
That's that, right?
I think that's that. Now it's just time, nothing but to do it.